Hey guys, so finally we have the update that is bringing Ultra Space Time Summon Banner number 17, and we have finally from V-Jump almost like 3 weeks ago at this point, it was teased in V-Jump, we have Frieza, Cooler, both transforming units, EX Shisami, and then EX second form Frieza. I have full power Bojack pulled up here as a reference because I feel like he's obviously on the most recent USD banner. He's a melee type. Every single one of these guys is a melee type except for Cooler, who's defense, so I feel like Bojack could be a decent benchmark. The only thing to note is that, once again, on DBZ Space, it does not let you actually see the enhanced stats once you transform. So I think a general rule of thumb is to add like 30k, I guess, to like their main offensive stat. So for Strike, I guess it would add 30k, and then, well, I mean, Cooler, I guess he would just add a bunch of defense because he's a defense type, so I mean, all the stats are going to increase, but it's hard to say exactly how much because you can't see it on here. But anyway, let's just start off with Frieza. I'm going to go ahead and do this, the EXs later. Frieza is a melee type. He's red, which is really, really good. We still need more reds in the game. Yellows are running rampant right now still. So, okay, his main ability is Time to Step It Up. Transform into Golden Frieza. Transformation lasts for 45 counts. That's a while. So I believe... So Kaioken Blue is only 30. I think Purple Trunks is 40. So this is even a little bit longer than that. So once you transform with this guy, you're going to probably be, most of the time, not even dropping out of it, I guess. Just also, on top of that, the fact that this team is also very offensively oriented. Basically every single unit on the team does a lot of damage, so the fights generally don't tend to last super long. Restores on health by 20%, which is really, really good too, because Frieza, Force, and Lineage don't have too many units that can heal. Metal Cooler can heal. I mean, they have Chilled. You're not going to use Chilled. I guess Full Power Frieza kind of has like a pseudo heal with a second life bar, but that's really it. Payback for the humiliation. When this character enters the battlefield, the following effects are applied to self if a tag Lineage of Evil or tag Frieza Force other than this character is a battle member. Okay, so if you run them alongside these tags, 35% strike damage inflicted, and then 30% to Q recovery. That's not bad. I mean, his strike attack's not bad at all. I mean, this is, again, he's transforming. Emperor Reborn applies the following effects to allied tag Lineage of Evil or allied tag Frieza Force when this character is switched to standby. Oh boy, he's a buffer. Plus 20% of damage inflicted against tag Saiyan, and 20% of strike damage inflicted. So basically, you're doing 40% extra strike to Saiyans, and I mean that's pretty good. I mean, we'll see how it works when he's transformed, but I mean, that sounds ridiculous. Death Ball is the super attack, deals major explode damage, inflicts enemies as Giant Red, 50% strike damage received. Okay, not bad. His extra green card is... Actually, it's a heal. That's interesting. So it's a heal and it buffs his strike damage. That is pretty good. I did not expect that, actually, because this guy's not really a defensive-oriented unit. What's his defense like? 84, 83? I mean, they're not the best. What's Bojack's? So it's similar to Bojack. Bojack isn't really that defensive, so I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a interesting green card. Holds 2 strikes. Let's just see what he buffs. Lineage of Evil. Is this just going to be strike attack to Frieza Force? Yes, okay. 38% at 7 stars. 35% at 5 stars is pretty good. This reminds me of Blue Kaioken Goku at 5 stars, actually, because he buffs God Ki and Saiyan strike attack by the same amount, 35%. So, sort of doing the same thing with Frieza here. Interesting. So let's go ahead and see him transformed. Again, we're not going to be able to see the stats here, but like, I don't know, this is probably going to be like mid 150k, like 155k maybe, and then like, I mean, everything's going to increase, so that's pretty good. Let's see what he does. His main ability is No Ashes Left to Bury. Try special move arts card next, so that's pretty good already. -5 to own strike arts cost for 30 counts, which is a while. Plus 25% to damage inflicted. Okay, that's doing a lot actually. Because you're drawing a special move and you're also increasing the damage you do with everything, which obviously includes the special moves itself. And he's making his strikes cheaper, which is good. Unique ability is Payback for the Humiliation, plus 15% of damage inflicted for 10 timer counts when faced with enemy character Goku. So it does 15% extra damage to Goku. Actually, I guess this means when Goku is switched in, or does this mean when Goku is just on the enemy team? I think this means just when he's switched in, so it's going to be only to the Goku unit. When this character enters the battlefield, the following effects are applied to self if a tag Lineage of Evil or a tag Frieza Force other than this character's battle member. 50% strike damage is a lot when you consider how high this is going to be. Also, when you take into account his main ability. And then 40% of Ki recovery. That's actually a lot. His Ki restore is not the greatest off the bat. Like, this is not I mean, this is probably going to go up again when he transforms, but that's not the best value for Ki restore. So him getting this is actually pretty significant, I think. The Emperor's Lust for Vengeance applies the following effects to tag. So he keeps the support part of his... Okay. One of his characters, which is standby. Plus 20% of damage inflicted against tag Saiyans, and then 20% of strike damage inflicted. Okay, so that remains the same as pre-transformation. That's good. Applies the following effects to self until transformation ends. Reduce damage received by... So he just constantly has a 20% damage cut. That's basically, I think, what Kid Buu does. Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure Kid Buu has a constant 20% cut as well. Yeah, 20%. So that's pretty good. I mean, Kid Buu can tank decently well, so that's pretty good. And then 30% of damage inflicted against character Goku cannot be cancelled. Reduces his own ki by 100 when transformation ends. I mean, like I said, it's a 45 count, so you're not really going to see that happen too often. So I wouldn't really worry about that too much, but it can be annoying. You probably are going to want to switch out right before this happens so that you don't gimp yourself. But he's getting 30% damage inflicted against Goku, and then he's also getting this. This kind of is making me think that he's getting that damage against the entire team when there's a Goku on the enemy team, because it's worded differently than this, against character Goku versus when faced with enemy character Goku. I think this is literally just he gets 15% extra damage against the whole team if there's a Goku on the enemy team, which is really, really cool. Okay, Death Slicer deals major slice damage, 25% to special move damage inflicted for 10 timer counts upon activation, which is also really good, and 100% chance to inflict heavy bleed. That's similar to what this guy actually does. Yeah, it's literally the same. And you guys should know how hard this hits. Like, this hits like a truck. So, I expect this guy's to hit even possibly harder. I mean, I assume it scales harder off of Blast than Strike, but I mean, we'll see. Extreme Flash is the green card, plus 20% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and then change own Blast Arts to Strike Arts card. That's really good. So, Blue Cooler and this guy actually hold very similar green cards. If we can just scroll down to see what Blue Cooler... I know Blue Cooler changes to strike cards and also buffs his strike, but we'll see how much this is. It's literally the same. So, except for is it the same counts? 15 timer counts. And this one is 20. So this one's literally the same, it's only 5 seconds longer. So, I mean, I've always liked this green card. It's actually really good, so I'm not at all upset about that. This guy's looking really good. He's going to do so much damage. I mean, I assume he's not going to be tanking super well. The only buffs he really has to reduce damage is this 20% cut constantly. But, I mean, this guy's going to be doing ridiculous damage, especially off of a switch. Plus, he's also supporting. Like, we'll take a look at the actual tag later as a whole on the team after we look at everything else, but this is looking really good so far. Next, we have Cooler. So, again, like I mentioned, he's a defense type. Stats aren't the best because defense types usually don't end up having the best stats, but his defenses seem pretty good. And again, he's going to have a lot higher when he transforms, so... Main ability is, you'll be the first and last to witness this form. Transform into final form, draw a special arts card. Okay, so he draws a green card. 15 timer counts must elapse. Okay. Actually, wait, hold on a second. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure. This is a special move. This is special arts card. So yeah, this is a green card. His unique ability is Another Emperor. Applies the following effects to self when battle begins. Applies buff effect, nullify abnormal conditions up to 2 times. So that's pretty good. Gradually restores own health each timer count for 40 timer counts. That's the Demon King Piccolo Perfect Cell ability where he just slowly regenerates his health, like kind of like EX Nail does. So that's, it's alright. Wicked Pride applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. So he gets 20% cut for 10 timer counts. And then 30% of strike damage inflicted for 15. It's not terrible. I mean, again, you're not really going to be spending too much time in this form. Again, this guy... his transformation is not time limited, so I mean, there's no reason to not just immediately come in and transform with this guy, right? Whereas with the Frieza, obviously, he's going to be time restricted, so you might want to be a little bit more strategic in when you want to transform with him. So that's what Cooler's doing here. Death Beam is this special move, deals major pierce damage, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 5 to substitution count. That's actually interesting. Yeah, that's. I mean, so if you hit them with this and they switch out, they're going to have a 15-second switch timer. Interesting. And then he gets 20% strike damage. You know, I would have liked this Cooler to actually have the heal, because he's a defense type, but, you know, whatever. What does he buff? Lineage in movies? Yeah. base strike defense. That's not the best. That kind of reminds me of this Goku. I think this Goku buffs like blast defense to green and movies or something. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Strike defense, I mean, it's obviously not preferred. That's what this guy does. Let's see what he's like transformed. So his main ability turns into Your Hell Begins Now. Draw a special arts card next, and then restores own health by 25%. So he just heals. Increases arts card drop speed by 1 level for 40 timer count. That's a long time. Okay. So far, it seems pretty good. Ultimate Transformation is the first unique. Restores own Vanishing Gauge by 40% when enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield. So he's one of the rare characters that actually restores his Vanishing Gauge. That's interesting. Not a lot of characters in the game do that. Applies the following effects to self per defeated tag Lineage of Evil or episode sagas from the movie's battle number when this character enters the battlefield. So 20% of damage inflicted, and then reduces damage by 10% for 10 timer counts. Oh, this is only for this. So he gets 25% of damage inflicted per defeated Lineage of Evil or sagas from the movie's battle number. I wonder if that stacks. So like, let's say you're running a team of this guy, green Cooler and blue Final Form Cooler, because they're on both tags. So if one of them dies, does he get 50%? Like, I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work like that, but so if he's the last person alive that gets 50% of damage inflicted, that's not bad. Especially, I mean, for a defensive unit who's not meant to do that much damage, he could be doing a lot of damage. Also, he does have blast armor on this. Time to have some fun is the second unique. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Reduces damage received by 20% for 10 timer counts. Okay, so this guy's taking a lot of reduced damage. So he has this, 10%, and then he has this, 20%, but they're both only for 10 timer counts. So he's going to have a pseudo 30% cut on switch-in, I guess. Okay, plus 30% of strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Okay. The following effects occur after enemy attack is over. Plus 25% of damage inflicted for 15 times. Is that the same wording as Goku Black, the Int one? I think so. Where is that Goku Black? If I can even find him. Here he is. I think it is the same after enemy attack is over. Yeah, after the following effects occur after enemy attack is over. So it's literally, if he gets tap-shotted, it will activate. So he gets 25% of damage inflicted for 15 timer counts if he gets tapped, which is pretty good because it's pretty easy to activate that. And then 25% of damage inflicted by allied. Oh. So he also is buffing Lineage. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. What is this? What is this? When is this activating? So is this 25% of damage inflicted by allies tag Lineage? Is this just a constant buff? Is this like Tech? Is this like Bunny Bulma, or not Tech Green Bunny Bulma, where she's just buffing the whole team like as long as she's alive? Because this is for 20 timer counts though, so that can't be right. I'm a little bit confused on when this is activating. I guess it could be after enemy attack is over, but that's kind of weird because you can't stack this. That would be too good. But either way, he's buffing Lineage again. So if you run this guy, blue Final Form Cooler, and the new Frieza, they're all buffing each other. That's going to be ridiculous. Okay, this guy's special is Supernova, deals major explode damage, inflicts enemy with attribute diagram, plus 5 to substitution counts, so that keeps the substitution count thing. Cannot be nullified, okay. And then Unrivaled Conceit is the green card. Restores own key by 35, that's pretty good. And 20% strike damage inflicted, that's good. He holds one of each. So this guy's looking pretty good, actually. He actually is doing a lot of damage. As long as you're running him on the right teams, right? So yeah, I mean, don't sleep on this guy at all. He also heals himself. He increases his arts card draw speed. I mean, this guy's doing a lot, actually. I definitely do think Frieza is better, but I mean, this guy, he works on more teams, right? Like the Frieza, I didn't even check the Frieza's not on movies, right? No, he's not on movies. But this Cooler, you can run him on movies. You can run him on Frieza. You can run him on Lineage of Evil. Like, if we ever get a Transforming Warrior team, you can run him on there. Anyway, let's go take a look at Shisami now. So he's the first new EX coming out. He's green. He is also a melee type. Strike damage, or strike attack, basically 123k. Defense is not great. Blast attack, not great. So, I mean, he's probably going to be Glass Cannon. Frieza Force's most fearsome warrior. Draw a strike arts card next. plus 30% strike damage inflicted for 30 timer counts, minus 10 to own strike arts cost. That's a lot. Okay. His unique is Reckless Rush, applies the following effects to self upon landing a strike arts hit. Oh boy. 15% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. So kind of like Nail. And then 50% special movement damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Oh! Wait a second. So he's doing both of these things. So I'm kind of confused how this is worded. So both of these effects are activating when he lands a strike arts hit. 50% of strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and then 50% of special move damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. So that must mean that this guy... Okay, this changes a lot. That must mean that this is all one thing that's dependent on him getting attacked. So he's buffing the whole team by 25% every time he gets attacked? That's a lot. For 20 counts. This guy's really good. This guy's a lot better than I initially thought because of that. If this is working how I think it's working, then that's really, really good. Because, I mean, just based off of what this is saying, I mean, this makes sense because this is just by itself here. Monstrous Proficiency is the other unique. 10% to strike damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. Okay, it's a little bit low. Every time a strike arts card is drawn while this character's on the battlefield. So that kind of reminds me of GT Goku. Where are you? You get blast attack whenever you draw a blast card. Yeah, so 50% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts every time a blast arts card is drawn while the character's on the battlefield. So similar. Where are you? So this is a little bit lower because his is 15 for 15, I think, and this is 10 for 10. I mean, he doesn't get increased draw speed, does he? Yeah, he doesn't look like it. Unless his green card gives him draw speed. Oh god, it's his rapid. Bulk Crash does major. It looks like it's like a lunging attack. Major impact damage. 50% strike damage inflicted for 10 timer counts per activation. Okay, it's not draw speed. Just as all of your blast arts cards, draws a strike arts card next. That does not sound even that good. I mean, I guess if we really want strike cards, it's not bad. What does he buff? Frieza Force and Lineage? Or not Lineage. He probably just buffs Frieza Force. And green. Strike attack, that's it. I don't know. This guy does not seem that good. I mean, he seems like a glass cannon, if anything, right? So, 30% strike damage, 30 timer counts, lower strike attack. If only he had draw speed, this guy would be really good. I mean, this is gonna... Like, this would... Draw speed would help this. It would help this. It would help this. It would help a lot. So, I don't know. I mean, this guy's gonna be okay. He's gonna be just a hard hitter. That's it. Just can't take a hit for anything. His defenses are pretty bad. And you're not gonna have him at 5-star anyways in EX, so... we'll see. Not super excited about this guy anyway. This guy, on the other hand, I'm pretty excited about, so hopefully he's good. He's also a melee type, and he has better stats, it looks like to me. 123, 107, 123, 112, 80, 80. Yeah, he has better stats. I mean, this guy probably has more health, right? Yeah, a little bit more, yeah. I mean, this guy's stats distribution is better to me. His main ability is I've Decided. 50% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Okay, that's good. Inflicts all enemies with 5 substitution counts. Wow, okay. Power level control applies the following effects to self once 20 timer counts have elapsed from battle start. So he wants to battle the last 20 timer counts, which is not long. 30% of damage inflicted, and then -5 to strike arts cost, versus health by 15. Okay. Now, which one of you gets to die first? While this character is on the battlefield, the following effects are applied to all enemies when enemy switches characters. Okay, so whenever the enemy switches characters, they get +5 to all arts cost. Interesting. And then inflicts with attribute downgrade 20% of damage. So this is kind of like Evil Boo, kind of. Except it's whenever Evil Boo comes onto the field, and this is whenever the enemy switches. His special is the Death Storm, which is like this frontal AoE thing. Deals major explode damage, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 15% of damage received. Okay. And then his extra green card is Torrential Key, lower defense, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% of damage received. Okay, it's different. It's different. He buffs Lineage. Is he gonna buff Frieza Force at 5? I bet you he is. No, just Lineage. Strike and blast attack. A double attack. Whew. I'm surprised he doesn't buff Frieza Force because usually they like to clump those together into like one thing. That's fine. The only reason why you would want Frieza Force is to help like the Ginyu Force out, but I guess you wouldn't run this guy with the Ginyu Force. This guy seems definitely better than Shisami to me. He just gets 30% damage inflicted after 20 counts, a lower arts cost forever, which will help by 15, and his main ability is also really strong. 20 counts for 50% more strike damage. Plus, this substitution count thing is not bad either. I mean, he seems pretty good. I definitely don't think he's as good as like Yellow Broly is. Neither is this guy, but I mean, they're definitely good EXs, right? If I had to guess, I would say this. I mean, if I had to say my prediction, this guy is definitely better than Chisame. I'd say the order of who I think is the best is this guy's worst, this guy's third, this guy is second, and this guy is first. But after looking at this, like, this is really... If this works how I think it does, where he literally buffs the entire team every single time he gets attacked, then this guy's going to be ridiculous. And I think this guy's really good. Like, this guy's going to do so much damage. So, those are all the new units that we have coming. Here we have the team. Let me refresh, see if they... Okay, so, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but you're going to want to run full power. He's the best... Probably still the best unit on this team. I think he's probably going to be better than the final form transforming. Full power Frieza, in my opinion, is like one of the top 2-3 best units in the entire game. You definitely want to run him on your team. You also want to run this guy. And this guy. And this guy. And this guy. So that's already 5 slots in your team that are taken up. And then the fact that this guy's a double offense at 5 stars, I mean, I feel like you definitely want to run this guy once you get him to 5 stars. But until then, you're looking at probably Chilled as the 6th on your team. So you're looking at full power, Golden Frieza, this guy, the Cooler, probably him, unless you wanted to switch him out for like Metal Cooler as like a tech choice if you want an extra red. But I mean, I'd rather just have the blue for coverage, and then you could run Chill on the bench for more health, is what I would do. So you pretty much have every color covered, and you can bring any one of your guys except for Chilled. But that's looking really, really good. This team's looking really, really good too. Even on movies, this Cooler can do work. The only thing is with that, he has competition with Bojack, and I think Bojack's really, really good still. So it'll be tough to say. They fulfill different roles. Bojack obviously is more offensive, whereas the Cooler is defensive, and he's going to buff movies when he takes damage, apparently. So that's really, really insane. Okay, so that's the tag. This is the banner. This wasn't loading earlier, so let me just see if I can refresh. No, okay, so for some reason the new units aren't loading the pictures, so whatever. So we have, obviously, the 6 featured, quote-unquote, Sparkings here. The Frieza, the Cooler, Metal Cooler, who's good. I think I only need 1 more Metal Cooler to get him to 6 stars. This Goku, he's eh. This guy, he's also eh. I mean, they're both not great. This Frieza's really good, but there's so many good options now for this team that I don't think Frieza is really going to be used that often if you have the optimal lineup, but he's definitely very, very good still. And I think people sleep on him a lot. In terms of EXs, they actually put this guy in, interesting. So obviously the second form Frieza, obviously if Shisami, I'm happy they're bringing back this Chill because I definitely need more copies of him. I think mine's only 1 star because I only pulled 1 of them ever. And then obviously they also have the Ginyu Force stuff on here, and that's pretty much it. So the banner is not great, to be quite honest, because this guy's not great, this guy's not great, this guy is okay. I think you can still use him. This guy's, again, same thing, he's okay, you can still use him. I mean, they're both better than okay, but this team is so competitive now, like, it's ridiculous. And then you have the ticket banner here, too, so this is like, obviously being a UST banner, you're going to be getting tickets to get a free 7 once you have 7 of them. So the chance to get a new unit is going to be 40%, which is standard of what we've seen. They're also going to have that bag sale. I assume it's going to be the same, 40% for a new unit. Then we also have this new event coming up, which is, I assume, going to be similar to that Bojack event that just happened, and like all the other events where there's like a bajillion stages, and you have to just, go through it, grinding it out. You're going to have new equips. I actually have those pulled up. We have this Super Scout battle. This is like a new version of like the one that we have going on right now, with like GT Trunks and stuff. This one is going to have Chilled, which is probably the one I'm going to be doing. Frieza Force, which is going to be EX Ginyu, which is pretty cool. And then Future, which is Future Gohan. Oh, wait, they have Zamasu on here too. I don't have Zamasu, so I can actually get him from this. Zamasu's bad, I'm just going to say it, but the only thing you want to look out for Zamasu is this. Like, this is ridiculous. Green and God Key double offense. But I mean, you have to get into 5 stars for that, and that's not going to happen. So, I don't know. This future one is looking very good because Black Friday's coming up, and this guy busts future, both defenses. Keep that in mind. But I'm probably still going to go with this if I had to pick one, just because I want to get my chilled start up as much as possible. So then we have the 2 equipments that are new. I think there's only 2 new ones. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can only find 2 new ones. They're both for like the Frieza team. So this one is What an Amazing Power Level. It's for Transforming Warriors and Melee type. These are both available from the cooler event that I was just talking about, this one. So base strike defense, base blast defense, and then this thing where it's like a range of 1 to 5 per Transforming Warrior battle member on your team. Pretty good, because basically every single Frieza race member is going to be able to use this, whether you're cooler, whether you're Frieza, whether you're chilled, whatever. I think chilled will... Does chilled the Transforming Warrior? I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to really be using him. Let me just see. He isn't... Okay, yeah, it makes sense that he doesn't transform, so... yeah, I mean, Cooler and Frieza can both use this, so this is looking like a pretty good one. Also, this tag needs more strike-based equipment. A lot of it is blast, and a lot of the units we're getting now, except for one, which is the Cooler, are melee types, so it's good that we're getting that. Next is, well, wait, for this obviously when Frieza is getting destroyed by Broly. So it's for Lineage of Evil specifically, and it also is another strike-based equipment, which is also good. Again, we need more of these for the team. Blast defense, key recovery, which is honestly it's becoming rarer and rarer on equipment, and then also strike attack. So definitely going to be getting Z's of both of these. So we're gonna have to try and accumulate some energy tickets for that. But that should cover everything. This was, I mean, as per usual, a little bit longer than normal of a video, but yeah, I mean, the banner drops in like an hour, or no, 2 hours from now, so going to be summoning for sure, trying to get this guy to 5 stars, this guy to 5 stars, and then we'll see how I can do with the EXs. I mean, something to note is that they are going with the they are sticking with the 30 times Z power thing instead of the 999, so it's going to be a little bit harder for me to get these start up as fast as I can. Obviously, because you're missing out on the 999, you're just getting 30 each. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of this. I think they should have stuck with the 999. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will see you all when the banner drops.